So today we are going to be ranking every single Queen album because I really love Queen and I think they are a super great band that honestly have so many awesome albums and I feel like they should be talked about. So yeah, let's go. So Queen 1 or just Queen, it's a really good album for what it is. It's like a kind of progressive rock ish, sort of more heavy metally, like kind of fantasy, like fantastical sort of metal. It's kind of weird to describe, but it's very heavy, which I like. It's got a great vibe, honestly, and even though the production quality is ass, it was a band's first album in the early '70s, so you can't get too mad at them. You can't get mad at them at all, but yeah, this album is great. Some really notable ones were the Doing All Right, Keep Yourself Alive, Great King Rat, and there was one more. There wasn't one more. I forgot. But it also it also gives it also gives you a little teaser for Seven Seas of Rye coming up in the next one. So this one was the first one that this is the one that started Queen. So it's pretty big. So let's give it an A tier. You know, it's really good. Um all right, Queen 2. This one is like Queen 1 but a lot better. Like this is insanely good. Wait, hold up. This is like yeah, this is just like Queen 1 but if you make it better and make it a little more progressive. I think some really good um songs on this record uh, are Black Queen, March of the Black Queen, Ogre Battle, which is one of the coolest metal songs I've ever listened to, um, and Seven Seas of Rye. And yeah, this album is heavy, it's powerful, it's good, and also the album cover is totally original and will never be it's original, but the album cover will totally never be used again. That is the first S tier. Um, all right, Sheer Heart Attack. This album took a completely different direction and has got the more sort of Queen vibe, I guess, because the other one's to somebody who listened to Bohemian Rhapsody, We Will Rock You, and Don't Stop Me Now. They're gonna be like those don't. The first two don't sound like the Queen I know. Um, but yeah, Sheer Heart Attack is really good. I don't have a lot to say about it. Um, of course, you got Killer Queen, which is really awesome pop track. And yeah, we also have Stone Cold Crazy, which is like it's a really heavy song. A lot of the earlier stuff is super heavy. I'm gonna give it a solid A. I think it's good, not as good as the first Queen album, but it's still good. All right, now we have another really good album, A Night at the Opera. So A Night at the Opera is an album with no really, like no popular tracks. I mean, you only got like, come on, you only got You're My Best Friend and like Bohemian Rhapsody. Come on, no, I bet nobody's ever even heard of those songs. But yeah, this album is super solid. It does sound operatic. Death on Two Legs is a great song. I'm pretty sure it's about like their breakup with a record label, with their previous record label. Um, and yeah, it's really good. It's got some. It's got like Seaside Rendezvous uh, and Blazing on a Sunday Afternoon that have this like sort of like uh, have this sort of like jolly vibe kind of. 39 is a great folk sounding song. I'm in love with my car. Sound Roger Taylor is has really good vocals and sounds like eerily similar to David Gilmour. But yeah, this is a great album. I'm gonna put it S tier below Queen 2. Now we have an album that I think is better than A Night at the Opera. A Day at the Races um is my favorite '70s. Actually, no, that's Queen 2, but it's my favorite mid to late '70s Queen album. Yeah, this album is really good. It's got these sort of it's got a lot of these sort of like like upbeat ballads, which I think They all sound really good. Like we got what's it called? It just left my brain. All right, Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy and Somebody to Love. I love those songs so much. Um, and yeah, it's also got Millionaire Waltz. It's got the Tio to Ride. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah, this album is great, and it also has Tie Your Mother Down, which is it's like a worse Death on Two Legs. But yeah, this I love this album. It's really good. I'm gonna put it like that. I might actually move A Night at the Opera to high A. So yeah, like that. Okay. I think it's better, yeah. News of the World. I was never huge on this album. I think it's good, but it's not great. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think some really really good parts of it are We Are the Champions. I know that's a freaking like NPC ass pick, but I don't care. Spread Your Wings is really good. Sheer Heart Attack is good. Yep, I'm gonna give it a B tier. It's good. Okay, it's good. Next up we have Jazz. So this album is like, it's interesting. It's got like a sort of vibe that I can describe with a piano, with fast piano and blast beats. That's how I describe it. My favorite song on this album is probably gonna surprise you guys, but it's Mustafa, the opening. And of course you got Don't Stop Me Now. I'm pretty sure like the second biggest one. Um, second biggest Queen song of all time. And it's very good. It's very good. As well as two absolutely awful songs though, like Bicycle Race and Fat Bottom Girls. I hate these songs. I actually hate them. I think they're awful. But the rest of this album is really good. So I'm gonna give it a low A. I think. I think maybe at the bottom of A. All right, Live Killers. I hate live albums. I'm sorry. I hate them. I do not enjoy listening to live albums. The whole experience of like live performances is being there to watch it. Because if you're listening to it, why not just listen to the more refined studio version? So I'm gonna give it a D. Might as well put Live at Wembley Stadium in D2 because I do not like them. All right, the game. The game is meh. You've got another one by Sedust, which is very good. I mean, it's got Don't Try Suicide. That Yeah, that song is really bad. Crazy Little Thing Called Love. I'm not a fan of the 50s rock and roll sound. Uh, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this album. And also, the album cover is stupid. I'm gonna give it a low B. Flash Gordon. All right, this album is overhated because in like tier list after tier list, ranking after ranking, they put it like super super low. But this album is great. Okay, this album is it's great for what it is. They finally started using synths, which I do not think makes the which I think sometimes does make Queen sound a bit like like sometimes it makes Queen songs age pretty badly. But I think that a lot of the time the synth works very well for Queen's later sound. So oh yeah, and Freddie has a mustache now. So yeah, Flash Gordon is cool. The title track is nice. Um and it's got the sort of like superhero sort of sound, like Flash. Psh, ah, I'm the savior of the universe. Ding, 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 ding. And yeah, the rest of it is pretty much just boring synths, except for when it isn't boring. So I'm gonna give it a mid B. I'd say so. I would enjoy it. I do enjoy it more than the game, honestly. All right, Hot Space. This album is freaking weird. So of course you got Under Pressure, which is like this art rock sort of really cool dance thing. I don't know how to describe the genre that it's trying to be, but it's great. I mean, I don't want I'm not trying to over explain Under Pressure. everybody who's listened to Queen knows what Under Pressure is. But yeah, the rest of this album is completely different though. I mean, you've got Back Chat, very sort of 80s disco thingy. That's yeah, that's probably what I would call this whole album, very 80s sort of disco thingy. Body Language makes me uncomfortable though. Staying Power is alright. And then there's nothing else memorable on this album. So, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna give it a I'd still pick because of Under Pressure though. I'd still put it right above the game. I'd say probably like a low to mid B. All right, now we're finally gonna get to something that's actually really good. And actually, wait, I'm gonna move the game down to a high C. No. All right, now we can finally get to. Now we can finally go back to stuff being actually really good instead of mediocre. So the Works is has a lot more anthems than previous Queen ones, because usually Queen so far has been like for the past couple of albums it's been like Nothing Burger with really big anthem and then just that formula over and over again. But the thing about the Works is that it's got like a handful of anthems and then something burgers in between. Cause so I think that makes it really really good. So my favorite songs are Radio Gaga, of course. I Want to Break Free, but my favorite is It's a Hard Life because the music video is awesome and it just sounds really really good. I like the part where he goes like, "I'm waiting for something to fall from the skies," and then the whole instrumental's like swell, and then he says, "I'm waiting for love." Yeah, it's really cool. Um, and then the most underrated song on this album is Machines Back to Humans because look, it's really good and he also hits one of his highest notes ever in this and holds it for like a scarily long time. He goes like I have to do this in falsetto cuz I don't have a vocal range like him. And now compress me, but no one, but no. Like that is wild. That is like I can't process the fact that he can do this in like a chest talking voice. I feel like that's insane. So yeah, The Works is really good. I'm gonna put it in. I'd probably put it above A Day at the Races. Like there, I love that album. All right, A Kind of Magic. This album is also extremely good. Um, I feel like I feel like Queen's worst time in terms of their albums was the early '80s, and then by the time they reached the mid to late '80s, they freaking picked the hell up and they got their shit together. A Kind of Magic is super super awesome. A lot of the songs were used for Highlander. So this this album is kind of sort of like a soundtrack for it, but not really. Some songs that I really like. Give Me the Prize is really good. Again, he hits one of his highest notes in talking voice. Um, and yeah, it's super cool. I should probably call it chest voice instead of calling it talking voice. But still, of course we got Who Wants to Live Forever, which made me tear up the first time I listened to it. Um, yeah, it's super good. And also Live Aid happened in between these. Forgot to mention that. Yeah, Live Aid. You guys know it. And then so yeah, A Kind of Magic is super cool, and also a super underrated song from this, Princes of the Universe. This was also made for Highlander, and it's probably the most sort of Highlander sounding one. And yeah, so it also this album also has One Vision. It has title track Kind of Magic. Obviously, they're both pretty good. One Vision I think is better. It sounds like a a copy of Hammer to Fall though. No, but like seriously, the intros to the songs sound identical. Like the Hammer to Fall is like da 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 da, and then One Vision is I think it's like da 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 da. um But yeah, A Kind of Magic is super cool. And Who Wants to Live Forever is kind of a glimpse into what we're gonna see later by Queen. Oh yeah, we got another S tier here. All right, the Miracle is interesting. So a lot happened between A Kind of Magic and the Miracle. So after A Kind of Magic, Queen did their final full original lineup tour. Uh, so there was that. Freddie made a solo album. I think he did that before A Kind of Magic. I don't know, but the rest of the band did a couple solo albums themselves. But then the most notable part was Freddie got diagnosed with AIDS, and yep, and just to give anybody who doesn't know, AIDS was a really bad epidemic that spread. I guess pandemic then, a really bad pandemic that spread across the world that literally the government did not care about because it was associated to the gay community and it was like awful. So, but Freddie kept it a secret. And only in I think mid 1989 did he tell his bandmates, it and the public sort of started catching on to him, sort of looking more frail, kind of. But yeah, this makes any sort of Queen album or song from here on out just a lot more sad. Um, but the miracle is like it. You could not tell that Freddie was suffering from illness in this album because my God, it is energetic. It is packed with like these powerful hard rock 80s songs and also a lot of synths that really did not age well. But yeah, I mean you've got Khashoggi's I don't ship I really do not know how to pronounce Khashoggi, but Khashoggi's ship is really good. I like the intro. Who said that my body was all over? Um, Breakthrough is really good. I think it's actually really good. It's one of those that you could say didn't age well, but I mean, we all still love Take on Me, right? It's like a Queen Take on Me. Um, but yeah, I actually really like this album, and a lot of people don't. But the album cover probably scares anybody off from listening to this album because the album cover is weird as hell. Um, but yeah, also Scandal is super cool. The Miracle is okay. I honestly don't like it that much, and The Invisible Man is sickening. I hate it. So yeah, this album is pretty good. Honestly, I feel like it gets a bit too much hate. I'd put it in like mid to high. Um. So all right. Next up, we've got probably one of the best Queen albums ever, Innuendo. I absolutely love this album. I think it is amazing. I think it's probably like one of the best rock albums ever made. Yeah, this album is so good. Um, it was the last album that was released with Freddie still alive to see its release. And it actually got pretty mixed reviews. When it released, I'm pretty sure. But at this point, Freddie was frail. Like he was. At this point, like his visual appearance was really sad. Like for example, in the Brit Awards, he uh, he made his first public appearance in a long time, besides like music videos for the Miracle, um, and I imagine it was shocking to see Freddie Mercury, who usually looked super like powerful and prideful, to not even have a speech or anything, and his suit was completely like way too big for him because of how skinny he was becoming and how frail he was, and it's just really heartbreaking. But yeah. So Innuendo though, but his voice did not age at all. The sound of his voice changed a bit, but honestly, I don't think it makes a difference. Don't Try So Hard has probably his best falsetto work. Innuendo probably has Brian's best guitar work with the solo. like the distorted solo where he goes like it's like 2 octaves higher than that, but whatever. And it's also got a bunch of like really heavy songs too, like Hitman, um, Headlong, and yeah. The show must go on. Probably best use of synths in Queen. And also the fact that Freddie did this in one take when he was like extremely ill with AIDS is absolutely insane. And it also has one of his highest notes ever. Speaking of highest notes ever, Freddie actually reached his highest note, which is a F5. So that is F in the fifth octave in a chest voice. I'm sorry, that is like bonkers. That is absolutely insane. Here, let me play it. Oh crap! No, 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 no. I want to go back to the tier list. I I turned off the ad blocker. What? All right. So yeah, Innuendo is so good, and I could talk about it all day. But there's one more album. Yep, that's the best Queen album. Um. So funny. It's that the second Queen album ever made was my second favorite, and then the second to last Queen album ever made is my first favorite. Um, all right. Made in Heaven. This album is interesting, because some of the songs are really bad, like really really bad. But again, this is like the like the Endless River kind of where it's uh, which is Pink Floyd's last album, I think. Where it's just basically taking a bunch of older older like parts like older recordings from like a few years back and putting it into a new album and mixing it. Um and I mean, Made in Heaven is like good. I think it's good but not great. Because I mean, there's literally a song called Yeah, which is just Freddie going, "Yeah," that's dubbed, and then that's it. And then there's just silence for like 5 seconds. That's the whole song. And then there's a song called Untitled, which is a 20-minute synth weird thing, which is pretty bad because nothing happens in it. But it also has some really really touching songs that also almost made me cry. Like Mother Love was Freddie Mercury's last ever voice recording. Like that was the last instance of Freddie ever recording his voice. Um, and it is heartbreaking because he he couldn't even finish it after doing all of the verses except the last one. He said that he needed to rest and he could finish it later, and he ended up going home and spent his last couple of months alive with his closest friends and family. So yeah, it's really sad, and it's also such a good song too. So this album has really really good songs and also really really bad songs. So I'm gonna give it a C, but just because of Mother Love, it's probably still put it above the game. All right, so let me just look at it, see if I want to change anything. Probably put Jazz above Sheer Heart Attack. I might put Hot Space above Flash Gordon. And then I'd move Live Killers down to F and keep Wembley at D. And there was nothing in War Crime. I made War Crime for the live albums, but they're not too bad. They're just like, why make a live